Well, good morning from London, UK. Now, before I begin, let me make some things clear. To my knowledge, I have no, zero links to ancient Egypt or Kemet or Nubia or that part of the world, to my knowledge, as a West African descendant. So let me make that clear again for those who have difficulty of hearing. I have no links to that side of the world to my knowledge. So I'm not claiming anything at all from Egypt, ancient Egypt, Kemet, Nubia, Sudan. I'm not claiming. So let's get that clear at the very beginning, right? So we're on board with that one, right? So you can't accuse me of being an Afrocentric or whatever that means, but I am not claiming nothing from that part of the world, right? What surprises me with the recent post I've seen is, well, am I surprised? Am I really surprised? Really thinking about it? I was going to say I was surprised with the racist means and the racism I see from the Islamic world, but then again, I'm not surprised because it's a well-known fact in the quote unquote so-called black community. I'll come to the word black in a minute. I'll come to that. Um, that Arabs, Levants, um, are quite racist anyway. Not all of them, but it's a well-known fact that racism in Islam, especially Islam and the Arab world and the European world, are as a high degree of racism anyway. So I shouldn't really be surprised, and I don't really give a flying fuck what religion format you want to come at me with. I'm not fooled by your religion, and even in your religion, it promotes genocide and slavery and stuff like. So I put it to you, your religion is somewhat racist anyway. It's so we won't go into that too tough. So am I surprised? No, not really. No, not really. However, there's a saying, um, don't piss on my head and tell me it's raining. Now, many of you on who's watching this, or many of you who leave the racist means on on the Facebook pages. Now, you know what quote unquote nigger facial features look like. You've had fun ridiculing Africans for having thick lips, broad noses, and so forth, and this and the other. So you know what nigger features look like. But all of a sudden, as soon as the same nigger features are featured on a statue of a pharaoh or anyone important, all of a sudden you suddenly go blind. All of a sudden, oh, you find all sorts of reasons why they're no longer nigger features. And this is why I said, don't piss on my head and tell me it's raining. If I look up at the sky and I see it's blue, don't try to tell me it's purple. You know, we both know what nigger features look like. So when I upload a picture of a pharaoh with nigger features, you know they're nigger features. I know they're nigger features, but you're pretending somehow they're not nigger features, and that's ridiculous. At the same time, I'm not denying the presence of the Levant. I'm not saying that Egypt was strictly an African, melanated African empire over 3,000 years. Of course, there was various people there. There was Levant, there was Greeks. There's all sorts of people there. It was multicultural. So I'm not making that claim at all. Now, let's get to the word black. Reason why I avoid the word black, because most people who are uneducated, which would be many of you who are watching it, you assume that the black, of course, which has racist origins. The word black comes from the European mindset, But anyway, let's get to my point before I get to the actual black business. Um, you assume that a black African is only one type, which is the so-called sub-Saharan African, and you forget that Africa has the highest variety of phenotypes in the world. There's different skin tones. You've got um, what we call red skin, like Mike Tyson, or the Ethiopians and Eritreans, and many of the Egyptians, to rich brown, which is very, very dark, for want of a better word, and different phenotypes. You got the East Africans with quote unquote European features, as well as uh, Africans with nigger features. Now you know this. You know this. So it's really kind of silly, again, when you see the means, and they just put one type of African, and that's supposed to represent all quote unquote black Africans. Now, let's come back to the word black. It's a European concept. Of course, no one is actually black, as we're brown, but it has racist connotations, and the words associated with black is all negative. So it was put upon slave dis- slave ancestors of my own, of the slave Atlantic slave trade. I'm not a I don't have a hang up admitting that I'm a descendant of slaves, being Afro-European. Um, what do you call it? To oppress, to oppress. So hence why many people are moving away from the terminology black, because they now understand where it comes from. Okay. Right. So what was the point again? Oh, now I've written about this before. Two things. This question seemed to cause a bit of offence. Now, when the more artifacts and relics I see of ancient Egypt, the more I see it points towards Africa. When I look at the rituals, the religions, the customs, the hairstyles, even though I acknowledge the Levant was there, but what rituals or what customs would I say the Levant is in the relics? Because I see plenty of Afro combs, hairstyles, as I've said, the collars, and the sort of ritual collars, and certain rituals I see practiced in Africa. But what do I see? What is it? Is there something from the Mediterranean, Near East, a custom or something that I'm maybe missing? What relics or customs is present in ancient Egypt to say, yes, that links to the Near East, that links to the Mediterranean? Example, here in the UK, there's many places you could see the Roman link. You go to York, London, Londinium, that was its original name. The A1, the longest road in the UK, that's a Roman road. You go to the town of Bath, that you can see plenty of links to the Romans there. Leamington Spa, lots of. So my point is, what is the links to the Levant and the Mediterranean in ancient Egypt? I don't see any. I just see links to inner Africa, and I say inner Africa, I mean more like Sudan, Nubia, that side. I don't mean. Well, there's even links further into Africa. What am I talking about? But I'm not making no claim. I'm not making no claims. And I'm going to finish off on one thing real quickly. Here's an irony. As I stated before, I have no links to ancient Egypt. But the crazy irony is, I have similar facial features. Not the same face. Not the same face. I didn't say face. I have similar features to the bust of Tutankhamun. And I should show you. Okay, thank you very much.